Welcome to the First Line Library. I'm Jordan, and today I have my top 10 reads of 2025. Let's jump into it. Welcome back, guys. So happy to be here with you all. Like I said, this is my top 10 books of 2025. 2025 was kind of a weird year for me. I had just started this channel in late 2024, so I spent most of 2025 trying to figure out this channel, how it was gonna work. So my reading wasn't quite as high as it was in 2024, which is okay. But as you can see, there are some really good books here, and I'm really excited to share these with you. But before I start with the top 10, I have two honorable mentions right here, and I really wanted to add these to my top 10 of 2025, but I actually started these in 2024, and yeah, it took me a while to read these, and there's a couple of reasons why. But starting off, the first one here is Dragons of Autumn Twilight. I briefly talked about this one not too long ago, why it took me so long to read this, and the main reason was I just wanted to prolong it. I really enjoyed this book. I really enjoyed the characters and the story, and I wanted to pick it up when I just didn't feel like reading anything else. This was a great book to just kind of leave by the bedside or on the, by the couch and read a chapter here and there, a couple chapters, follow the story along with these characters. And yeah, this was really, really good. And I really wanted to put it in my top 10, but I felt like because I didn't start it in 2025, it just couldn't be on that list. The next one is The Stand by Stephen King. The reason why this one took me so long is I didn't really enjoy it after the first, couple hundred pages, and I wasn't really sure why. And yeah, it just took me really a long time to get back into this, but I get it now. This is an incredible story, good versus evil. I really enjoy post-apocalyptic stories, so I wasn't really sure why I wasn't grasping this as much as everybody else liked it. It took me a little while to get into it, but after getting through another 100 pages or so, boy was I hooked. So this really wanted to make it onto the top 10 list as well, but because I started in 2024, I didn't want to put it on there. So those are my two honorable mentions. Let's start with the top 10 list. All right, so number 10 is going to be The Tower Treasure by Franklin W. Dixon. This is book one in the Hardy Boys series. This was just such a good read. It's pretty short. It's all ages accessible. I just really enjoyed the simplistic nature of just the mystery, the brothers. Yeah, it's just really, really good. And I highly recommend anyone who's wanting to jump into mystery books, pick these up. Even in between some of those heavier mysteries, you won't be disappointed in the simplistic nature of the Hardy Boys. All right, number 9 is going to be The Snow by Carolyn B. Cooney. This is book 2 in a trilogy, the first being The Fog, the second being The Snow, and the third being The Fire. I'm currently reading The Fire right now on my Kindle, but out of the first two books, The Snow is so good. In the first book, in The Fog, you're introduced to Christina, the main character, and the mystery that she finds herself in is really, really good in The Fog. But in The Snow, that mystery just goes further and further down the rabbit trail. And yeah, this one is really, really good. Super short too. Yeah, really, really enjoyed this one. All right, number 8 is The Mysterious Affair at Styles. This is the first book in the Poirot series, and wow, this was a really good introduction to that character. I'm a huge fan of mystery. I really like Agatha Christie. I've read some of her more standalone books, but yeah, this one was really, really good. The setting was awesome. The characters were great. Poirot is also really, really goofy and fun. So if you want to start in any Agatha Christie, I highly recommend this one to start with. All right, number 7 is going to be Weird Space 2, Dawn of the Warriors. This is an indie published book by A.M. Wiley, and wow, it is so good. I read the first book in 2024, and that was incredible too. I think book 1 and 2 are similar but different in certain ways that make each one better for me. I really enjoy the introduction of the characters in book 1, but the journey that the characters go on in book 2 is awesome. And yeah, A.M. Wiley just nailed it out of the park with this book, and I can't wait to get to book 3. So yeah, Weird Space, Dawn of the Warriors. Okay, so number 6 is going to be Howling Dark. So throughout 2025, I went through all of the books except for Shadows Upon Time. I just started that this year, and this may be a different take on the series, but Howling Dark was my favorite of the series so far, mainly because I think the formula that Christopher Rocchio has for these books starts with this book, and the ending was just crazy. It caught me off guard. I did not expect that to happen, and I think the shock and wow factor of it all really lend Howling Dark to being my favorite of the Sun Eater books. That might change over time, especially as I dive more into the lore, and when I finish Shadows Upon Time, you know, it could change. But yeah, as far as 2025, I read these pretty close to each other, and Howling Dark was it just blew my mind. So yeah, that's number 6. All right, number 5 on my list is Kenobi by John Jackson Miller. This is not your typical Star Wars book. This is not your typical Obi-Wan Kenobi story. It's different from the Disney TV show. This is, as most people say, very much like a Western style book. And Obi-Wan is not really even the main protagonist of the book, but yet the essence of his character permeates throughout this book. And I think John Jackson Miller he knows how to write this character. And yeah, this was incredible. This might even be a great point for anyone who wants to start in the Star Wars Legends books. Yeah, pick up Kenobi. I don't think you'll be disappointed. All right, so book number 4 is going to be The Last Light of Edgewood by Luke Boswell. This is another indie published author. This is his first book. It is a more lighthearted fantasy. There isn't a lot of like grim darkness to it. It's the world that it's in is very lighthearted. Yes, there is good versus evil, but it is incredible. Luke hit me up near the beginning of the summer in 2025 and asked if I would be interested in reading this. And he was gracious enough to send me a copy, and I was really excited to pick it up. I ended up reading it while I was on vacation near the end of the summer, and boy, I wish I would have picked it up sooner because this is so good. I really, really enjoyed this book, the story, the characters, the fact that it's not so heavy, but yet there is heavy themes that make you think about life and other people, good versus evil. Yeah, incredible. If you want to pick up something to jump into the fantasy world, pick up The Last Light of Edgewood by Luke Boswell. I don't think you'll be disappointed. All right, so number 3 is going to be Of War and Ruin by Ryan Cahill. This is a chonker of a book, literally a brick. This would definitely be, you pick this up if someone tries to break in your house. This is going to be what you'd use to defend yourself. This book, it's got so much in it. Too much to talk about in just this, but The Bound of the Broken is one of my favorite fantasy series of all time. Ryan Cahill just knows how to write characters, very much like John Gwynne. And I know John Gwynne is definitely an inspiration for Ryan Cahill in writing characters in fantasy. Yeah, this is incredible. I don't want to spoil too much about it. Do yourself a favor, pick up Of Blood and Fire, the first in the Bound and Broken series, or if you just want to dabble into the series, pick up The Fall. It's a novella. You can read it before the first novel or after the first novel. It's totally up to you, but if you just want to get a taste of the world that the main character Kaylin is in, pick up The Fall. Or if you just want to jump right into it to figure out who he is, pick up Of Blood and Fire and get to Of War and Ruin. You will not be disappointed. All right, number 2 of 2025 is The Gunslinger by Stephen King. This is book 1 in the Dark Tower series. And yeah, this was so good. I know most people don't consider this one of their favorites. It actually might be the worst rated in the series of the Dark Tower series. But after reading the first 3, I still think that The Gunslinger holds up higher. I don't know if it's just because I enjoy the introduction of Roland, the Gunslinger, and the relationship between him and Jake, and the kind of like cliffhanger at the end I thought was really, really good. It definitely pulls you into reading the series more. But yeah, I think The Gunslinger, the first in the series, is by far my favorite out of the first 3 that I've read. Highly recommend it. I know a lot of people have already read this series. This is definitely an interesting King fantasy series. So yeah, number 2, The Gunslinger. All right, so the number 1 book that I read last year is going to be Valor by John Gwynne. John Gwynne is becoming one of my favorite authors of all time. I've only read 2 of his books, the first 2 in the Faithful and the Fallen series, but this man just knows how to pull at your heartstrings. One moment you're laughing along with your main characters, and the next moment you're crying along with them. He's just so good at writing relationships, and if you're really in for the battles, he is really good at writing battle scenes as well. There's just a lot of stuff in this series that I really enjoy. The themes, the characters, yeah, it's just really, really good. I don't want to talk too much about it because I'm eventually going to do a full series review. But yeah, number 1 book of 2025, Valor by John Gwynne. And again, if you haven't read any John Gwynne, please do yourself a favor, pick up Malice, the first in the Faithful and the Fallen series. You will not be disappointed. But hey, that is my top 10 books of 2025. Do you disagree with me? Do you agree with me? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to chat with you about it. So yeah, that's it. Take care. God bless.